Well, the battery's been on charge. And I've managed to get her started under her own steam. She's missing a bit, but I think she's going to need some diesel. It's a bit smoky. If you can see that. So I'm going to chuck some diesel in her now and maybe let her run for a bit and see if she sorts herself out. I need some water in it as well, actually. Better put some coolant in, boy. But she runs. So whilst that's warming up, it's time to clean the joint. What have I got in my arsenal? I've got Dettol's Finest multi-purpose cleaner. Kills 99% of bacteria and COVID-19. There's probably COVID 20, 21, 22, 23, 28 in here. It's mouldy as. I always love what manner of degrease you find in people's cars. No idea what that is. Elastic band, a key. I've got loads of keys with this car, and only 2 of them for the car, and as more than anyone else so far. Oh, that's for something on my hands, which is gross. More paper clips and safety clips. A nut. Oh, that could be fun. Ah, that's looking better. Not perfect, but good little run. I've got some of those little detailing brushy things because I'm a professional detailer now. So maybe I'll get some of them in there and like all in here, all this degrease in here. Yeah, all that type of stuff. She is looking good. I still love how everything works. Like windows work, auto windows. One click go down, stop, one click. Or you've got this little middle button. You can just make little adjustments because, you know, sometimes you just want to crack the window open. And this one, well, that's for the passenger side. And this is probably one of my favourite bits as well. Radio was obviously missing, but like a little magnetic cover. How cool is that? It's a bit annoying, a little bit annoying because, well, you've got to put this somewhere then. Where'd you put that when you want to take it off, put the radio on? Well, I guess that's what ordinarily this little radio controller would be for. The smoke is clearing a bit now as well. Nah, maybe not. So, made a start on cleaning this. I've still got loads to do. I hated sitting in here and touching all this grime and mould and just all sorts of different bacterias that are probably undiscovered. So I thought I'd give her a good clean, good anti-bac. I do need to come in and clean the carpets, and the seats need a good clean as well. As you can see from that grimness. That needs a good clean, but I just wanted to get in here and give it a good jump. So if I got time today, I'll get cracking on the seats and the carpets. Otherwise, it's going to be weather dependent because I am still on my drive. I have got a car cover to put on it.
A bit cold this morning. It's about -5, but I thought it'd be a good idea to come out and service the 19. It's starting to question my life choices really, but we move. So today we're going to be servicing our L19. Oil filters, air filters, fuel filters, whatever we can get through today. It is -5. So first of all, I'm going to show you what items I bought for it in terms of service items. Prioritized not on the best quality, but on the cheapest price that I could find on eBay. So Renault 19 oil filter, enter, sort, price lowest to highest, buy, because why not? So first up, oil filter, Napa, quality part. I was hoping it'd be blue because that'd be cool, wouldn't it? But pretty standard. I think these are across loads of different types of engines, Renault, Vauxhall, etc. I think that cost about £6 delivered, something like that. So, oil filter, fuel filter, Borg and Beck, banging. It's got GM, Astra, Cavalier, and Renault on it. But sure fit. This looks like it's been opened about 55 times as well. That's what it is. Fuel filter. No, I've no idea if any of this stuff are the right parts yet, because I haven't got any of the old stuff off. But yeah, you'll find out with me. So it's that. This I thought was cool. New old stock, genuine Renault air filter. Paid £6 delivered for this. I've checked on my little downloadable diagram that I found on some cracking Argentinian website, and that part number does seem to be right. Just a point of order here, this is that Renault 19 website that I was telling you about, and this is the air filter. Part number, air filter, F8Q, which is my 1.9 turbo diesel engine. Just bear that in mind for a sec. For mine, there seems to be two different variants. There's one like this, and then there's one that's a little bit kind of slimmer and more stretched out.
You don't say. You don't say.
So again, we'll find out whether or not this is the right one as we go through it. And then Quentin Hazel timing belt kit. I'm not going to be doing this today, but I thought I'd show you anyway. Brand new. Belts, pulleys and tensioners. And I paid £16 for all this. A bargain. I'm not fitting that today. I'll probably do a video dedicated to timing belt, because that's probably going to be a good chunk of work. So they're the bits. Let's go. Let's grab some of the tools that we're going to need and get cracking. It is quite early on in the morning, so I'm going to be doing this service a bit backwards. Usually I jack up the car. Usually I jack up the car and get the oil drained after warming it up. It's -5 degrees. It's currently at the state in the morning. I don't think my neighbours are going to appreciate me starting a tractor up and letting it run for half an hour while simultaneously filling the street with fog or smoke. So I'm going to do it a bit backwards, let time go on a bit, and then I'll start it up, get it warmed. If it starts, I don't even know if it'll start. It started the other day. You'll see from that short that I put up. It started begrudgingly. But yeah, we'll get it started and we'll get it warm, and then we'll change the oil and the coolant. So, tools. Okay, tools. Pretty simple for a service. You're going to need 3/8 ratchet, preferably covered in rust and a little bit and missing a screw and a bit knackered, because then you can use it as a hammer as well. Always need a hammer. 5mm Allen with a ball end on it. That is for the airbox housing. 8mm Allen, and that is for the fuel filter manual pump thing that I'll show you in a minute. A Renault sump plug socket, 8mm square from Draper Experts, and that's to get a sump plug off. I hope it's worked on all my other Renaults. I hope they didn't move it. It'll change it over time. 7mm socket to get the Jubilee clips. Otherwise you'll need a flathead screwdriver or something like that. I prefer to use a socket on a ratchet because I'm a lazy bastard. 11mm socket, and no, we're not doing bleed nipples on calipers, because I think that's the only other thing I've ever used an 11mm socket for. We are using that for the through bolt that goes through the pump on top of the fuel filter that actually secures the fuel filter in place. There's one thing that you're probably thinking I'm missing here, which is an oil filter removal tool, which has disappeared from the face of the planet out of my garage with no reasonable explanation. So I'm going to try and do the old used fan belt method. Hook that around, get through a spanner or something, and try and wrench it off. It's been well serviced, this car, so I'm hoping that it hasn't been over tightened or it hasn't seized. The other thing I've got, trusty old Haynes. Original Haynes manual from 1996. Paid £3.95 for that off eBay, and so far it has been one of the most valuable tools I bought for this. Even if it's just like diagrams and order of things to do things in. So if you're working on some rusty old
friendship box. Get yourself a Haynes. So, like I said, I'm going to be doing this service a little bit backwards because I haven't got, it's a bit early to be warming that up. You can see how cold it is. It's about -5. And I haven't got, it's a bit early to be starting that thing up, to warm it up to get the oil drained. So, I'm going to start off with the air filter and the fuel filter. And that'll probably take me as the time that I need to get it, to be able to start it, warm it, and get the oil warmed up and run through so I can drain it out and get a little bit more oil out of it, because at the minute it's probably going to be like treacle, which is no good for oil changes, is it? Nice easy one first then. We're going to start off with the air box, which is situated kind of there in the engine bay. 4 5mm Allens on the end of here. They're a bit crusty, so I'm going to make sure I've got a good purchase inside there. And they come off pretty easy. I'm just going to crack them off for now. Yeah, they're coming off pretty simple. Yep. Just cracking them off now, because if any of these are rounded, then, well, I'd just be going back to bed, to be frank with you. So I'm going to put the camera down so we're steadily safe. It's out, and I've got the wrong air filter.
You don't say. You don't say.
I told you you were going to come with me on this journey, and that is the wrong air filter. I've got the wrong air filter. Me, I bought the wrong one. Another point of order. Back to this. Remember this? Right. F8Q, that's my engine. There. That's the part number on that box that I bought earlier. If I scroll up here, what's this? For a C3L engine. Don't know what that's for. But what's in the engine bay doesn't lie. Put that back on there for a minute. I have to go out and get an air filter. Let's move on to the fuel filter. Fuel filter next, which is this thing here. Just down here. It's got this little housing on top of it. There's the filter, and then it's got a little diesel warmer underneath it that's hooked into the coolant system. So according to my trusty Haynes, these two bolts off, that bolt off, drop the filter, new filter on, back screw bolt back in, those bolts back in, pump some diesel through it. Should be good to go. 8mm Allen key. These two bolts here. Anyway, that's a lot of diesel coming out of there. There'll be no surprises to learn that I've just done that completely wrong, because although I've got a Haynes manual, I didn't necessarily read it properly. So I've got a little drain plug on the side down here. I've got to get ready to crack that open at the same time as cracking the inlet union open. And then that should drain the fuel out of the filter, and then I can remove it. So that looks like an 18. Watch the O-rings on the inlet there. Okay, and that's the through bolt out. There's quite a bit of diesel spillage, but we'll figure that out. Just solve this now. And 2 from 2, we've got the wrong filters. But now I know which one I need, I can go and get the right one, can't I? So that's out. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back in just to stop air from going back through the system, which might make it hard to bleed. And I'll go and get 2 of the right filters. What I do know is the oil filter is correct. So 1 from 3 isn't bad, is it?
That's that sorted. So 2 out of 3 filters that I bought are wrong. Good stuff. So whilst we wait for time to get on so I can start this and run it, I'm gonna nip to the shop and see if I can get the right filters for it. Fingers crossed. There's a shop that stocks on the shelf filters for a 30-year-old Renault diesel. But we move.
A few minutes later.
Well, Spartan delivering the goods. Thanks, bud. So just been down to Spartan, which is luckily about 30-second drive away from my house. They saved the day with my buffoonery ordering the wrong parts, and they managed to have the right parts on the shelf for a 30-year-old French shitbox. So I'm just going to show you the differences as to what the parts are. If you're in a similar position to me where you've never worked on these types of cars or this type of engine, which is the F8Q Renault diesel engine, this might help, it might not. You might all be laughing at me, rightfully deserved, I guess. So this is the difference in parts, what I ordered to what I needed. Starting with the oil filter, the fuel filters. This is the one that I ordered. You can see it's got a little drain plug on the bottom and it's quite a chunky unit. I think that's for later engines, maybe the F9Q engines, or F8Q engines with a slightly different fuel filter setup on it. This is the one that I needed. As you can see, it's a lot stumpier. It's got a through hole on it. Comes with all the new seals and stuff like that as well, and everything. And it basically gets sandwiched between a diesel warmer and the manual hand pump with a through bolt. So that is the oil filter that you need, I hope, when I fit it, which we'll find out in a bit. And from an air filter perspective, that's the one I ordered, genuine Renault new old stock, and this is the one that I needed. As you can see, it's a bit more long and cylindrical, very, very different. So I'm not going to open that because I'm just going to send it back. I'll try and send this back as well. The oil filter's okay though, so 1 out of 3 ain't bad. So let's get back to it, shall we? Old one, new one. This one's got some extra things at the bottom, but they're both the same size, both the same diameter. That's going to work. An absolute treat. The only thing to do now is make sure that all the seals are replaced. So that fits on the top there like that. That goes over the top of it, lining that seal up. And then the through bolt goes back in and should line up with the threads. There we go. Bit of brake cleaner, get rid of all that diesel on top of that. Should sort it. So now that we've got a nice shiny fuel filter and we've cracked all that off and we've had it all out and air's got into it, we need to prime it before we try and start it. And the way that you do that, this is a pump. First we need to nip off this bleed valve here, and then once that's nipped off you can squelch, 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 squelch on the pump until there's no air coming out of there. Let's give that a go, shall we? I'm not sure if this is an 8 or a 9, so I've got both. It's not an 8, it's not a 9, it's an 8. So 8 mil. There we go, you can see there's a bit of diesel coming out of that. I'm hoping there should be some air coming out of it soon as well. There she goes. She's a squirter. Watching you. Have some fuel to come through. Come on, you. There we go. Oh, that's a good stream. Let's see if she starts. on their own battery as well. Right, hopefully you can hear me over the tractor that's running behind me. So I got it started under its own steam, no jump start, no charge, no nothing, so I'm really happy with that. That's a vast improvement from the previous video, as you would have seen. So we're just going to let it run for 5-10 minutes, just to get the oil a bit warmer. Then we'll jack it up, drain the oil, replace the oil filter. Hopefully I can replace the filter with my shonky method. I should have bought a proper tool whilst I was a Spartan. Yeah, we'll drain the oil, see what condition it's in, make sure there's no shiny bits in it. Either way, we're putting more oil in it, we're putting a filter on it, and we're sending it. So hopefully she gets warm pretty quick, warmer than I am, and I don't gas the neighbourhood out. She's pretty smoky. Right guys, that's the first kind of service done. I haven't had a chance to do the oil filter. I need to go and get a tool, but I don't want to stop that getting this video out. There'll definitely be more episodes on this. I want to get the timing belt done because although it's not got that much mileage on it, it's about, I think it was 2016 it was last changed according to the history, so I don't want it to just crack and snap. I'm led to believe that these are non-interference engines anyway, so I don't think it'll cause too much issue, but I just don't want the hassle of having to retime the fuel pump and all that type of stuff. So I'd rather just get it sorted straight away. So I've got the kit, so I think next episodes we're going to be changing the fuel filter, changing the oil again, giving it a good flush out. Expensive, but I think worthwhile, and then doing the timing belt. What I'm also going to need is a windscreen. I don't think you can see it through the ice. It's all cracked here. What I don't know is whether that is a result of rust within the frame. There's also a big crack coming up the center here. You might be able to just see it. There's a bit of rust there. I can't see how far it goes up and whether that forms part of the actual windscreen frame. So I'm just going to have to get the windscreen taken out, doing a bit of an assessment of where some welding needs doing, get the welding done on it, and then get a new screen put in. Yeah, it's the classic forgot to record an outro video cop-out. Yeah, I've looked and I can't find where I put my recording of my outro for this latest video.
Idiot, 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 idiot.
So here I am doing a cop-out voiceover. But just want to start by saying thanks for all the interest in the channel over the last couple of days or weeks. Loads of views, loads of subscribers, so it's really encouraging for us. So please subscribe and view and watch and like, or do neither of those things. Appreciate everyone's love, all the comments, etc. There'll be more videos coming up on this channel with Craig picking up one of his new cars. I won't spoil that for anyone, but hopefully that'll be a good little watch. And there'll be plenty more videos on the Renault 19 coming up as well. I've got loads of bits to do with the timing belt, suspension, windscreen, get it ready for an MOT, all that good stuff. So I'll video as much of it as I can, because apparently loads of people like watching videos about 30-year-old French shitboxes. So long may it live.